When we were designing the summer collection and we were shortlisting the colors, we came across this color in the Pantone shade card called Kashmir. It's this amazing green color that became the starting point of the collection. So I told Falguni we have to drop all the locations we had in mind and we have to shoot in Kashmir.
We always believe in capturing the grandeur of a beautiful location as a backdrop for all our campaigns. We like to push our boundaries and find some of the most exotic and unimaginable locations for each of our campaigns. That really excites us as a brand, which pushes us to think beyond what we can create in a normal atmosphere.
The ideation for Falguni and Shane is always very couture driven. It's always very classic, but it always has a sense of setting a new benchmark and a global standard. I feel whenever we're trying to put a look together, and more often than not, it becomes a standard for other people to sort of emulate.
So when you think of Kashmir, everyone thinks about the snow-clad mountains, right? But Kashmir has the most amazing lakes and the most amazing landscapes that are covered with acres of greenery and a variety of exotic flowers. So we wanted to capture all that,
Firstly, when we shot at Taj, it was very, very overwhelming for me to be shooting at such a historic monument. And to top that, I was very curious to know what Shane and Falguni are going to do next. But they did what they do the best. They topped themselves and we went to Kashmir.
As soon as we landed in Kashmir, we were hit by this cold breeze and the warmth of Kashmir and its people. While we were on our way to the location, we were fascinated by the markets on the shikaras. So the entire team got on the boats, right from the models to the photographer, to the stylist, to the digital team, to the hair and makeup crew, everyone.
Literally everyone. We were really excited to shoot in Kashmir, such a beautiful, spectacular, picturesque location, and to shoot a campaign over there was really just so exciting.
So we wanted to capture the rawness of Kashmir, which meant a lot for the campaign as Falguni Mehta visualized it.
And Shane is like, I want something very slick and I want girls to look pretty. So that's what I did. I did like really clean, sleek hair, added a lot of color and Swarovski to the face. The day one started with 2 a.m. call time, which means I have to wake up at 1 o'clock. And I was given an instruction, a very strict instruction by Erico saying that I want my girls before 6 o'clock at the island, which is 30 minutes boat ride from the spot where they get into the water.
Grab, take care of her like this, yes. This is your best friend, yes. Nice. I love it, guys. I'm crazy, but you're crazy too. Lovely view, beautiful girl.
Lovely. Stay like that. Rolling. And action.
We finish all of this, we start shooting. I didn't know to reach the next location was a nightmare. I remember all my girls lying down and it was shot from a top of a bridge. It was such a difficult location to climb the models up and climb your entire team up, and we were shooting with drones and everything to get running.
I had never been to Kashmir before, so I was excited to explore the landscapes. We knew that we wanted to do grand shots in terms of use a lot of drone footage, cover the lakes, definitely do a lot of boat shots. But we still weren't sure what we're going to get till the day of Recce. I think the day of Recce was a very important day for us because that's the day we decided what we're going to do. I remember going to that first island where we went, and I instantly saw that the ramp where that's the first shot of our film where we have the girls twirling, and I pictured that should definitely be our opening shot of our film to set the entire tone of it.
just keep posing. There's no cut. It's all action.
हाँ बस रोक अभी अभी ऑलमोस्ट रोक दीजिए बस.
So this is one all-inclusive campaign that has couture pieces for everyone, right from the bride, the groom, the bridesmaid, the groomsmen, to the entire family and even close friends.
When it's an epic location and you've been wanting to do something at this location, there are already 1001 ideas. I think the challenge was to kind of streamline the ideas and finalize things, because obviously you can't achieve everything in the limited amount of time that we have. So it was a lot of conversations, let's do this, let's do that, and the streamlining was the challenge.
Look, what are we doing?
We'll discuss now.
Because now it's saying that garments मंगा लेते हैं यहाँ पे रख देंगे.
दूसरा वाला एक लोग वहाँ पे चाहिए मुझे. बाकी वहाँ से टेम्पो आ रहा है.
Let's figure the spot now.
Yep.
Falguni was suggesting the ivories would be nice to start with.
So back in Mumbai, when Falguni and myself were discussing that we have to shoot in Kashmir, we have to shoot the raw, beautiful, picturesque location, like heaven on earth, literally, we would need the best team on board.
So who else? None other than Ericos, who's always shot our campaigns, Apeksha, who's done such beautiful videos for us, and Mohit and Shoini, really, creative direction and styling, totally on point, and Mehak, who's always done our campaigns. So we had to just recreate the magic again when we were in Kashmir.
इस पे टर्बन से नानी मुझे साफ लेके आता है. थोड़ा
आ रहे वो आ रहे.
Nice.
We should do this first. This one, two, these three.
And ivory. Ivory I want to do.
Where's ivory?
It's we don't have this is the ivory. और ये वाले capes करेंगे.
Either will be able to do ivory or this one.
But I think we should do ivory.
In terms of my this has got capes. Okay. So the very first day of shoot being Falguni's birthday, it became a challenge for me, to surprise her in some way, to make her feel special. Because we were in the middle of the lake, surrounded by water, and there was no way I could think of a surprise in between of a shoot. I at least thought of getting her a cake, birthday cake, and luckily our production game was so good and so strong that we managed to get a cake from a bakery. Like imagine, so a few spot boys and the local helpers, they took a boat and they went all the way to the Gartal land just to arrange the cake for us. And these small things are small in cities like, but out there it meant like a big thing.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Falguni.
It's a birthday.
ये तो किसी ने बताया ही नहीं.
It's a birthday today.
It's a birthday today.
देख हम मम्मी कम रहने. हम मम्मी कम.
What about other boys? They're not ready? Anybody else?
When we plan our campaigns, we know one thing, that we want to shoot with Ericos because we just love shooting with him. He brings out the best of couture, the best of the location. It just looks so beautiful, and he has the eye to make everything look artistic and beautiful.
To start with,
So do it here. All the boys.
It's a sharara, so that means it is a kurta and a this thing. That's not coming across.
no, I mean I did the standing one, the sitting ones. We can do standing now.
Like one girl, Gunjan, you can sit.
So when we decided on Ericos, he was in Greece. And when we first mentioned about the shoot to him, he had no plans to come to India around those dates we mentioned. But knowing how important this was to us, he flew down just for the shoot and to make it happen, and just the way we wanted it to be. The thing about Ericos is that when he looks at an outfit, he knows exactly how he wants to shoot it without any second thoughts. And I would give a lot of credit to him, the thing that he's brought to all our campaigns, the creative language, the aesthetic that he's brought to all our campaigns and our vision to life. I mean, I really commend him for that.
Boys, stay for a video.
When we thought about the film, we knew instantly that it had to be Apeksha and Vaishnav from the House of Pixels. They have worked on our Taj campaigns, and we knew if we had to achieve that brilliance, it was them.
And you know how we ignore also.
I need one person with me.
So that's why I'm saying video karna
We might as well spend some time on this if you want, because there is no time for another show. It's already 5 what? 5 o'clock?
5 o'clock.
But because we have those readies, those are more like key pieces for
My
us.
love, by the time we all finish, they change. We will only have like 15 minutes to shoot.
Pick up your outfits and walk.
Whatever you made, just first send it to me quickly.
As we talk about our campaigns, I think now we are talking about the veterans who have worked with the brand from a very long time.
In fact, we've been working with Mohit and Mehak for years now. They understand the brand, they understand its language, and it's really easy to work with them.
The white fingertips, right? Or does it change?
Bring it here. Which one? Chalo.
इसको हम दुपट्टा क्यों दे रहे हैं? नहीं दे। हाँ नहीं किसी को नहीं दिया तो उसको क्यों दे रहे हो तुम? चलो जाओ। Thank you dad. Is there anyone doing इसको चला सकता है इसको?
We're gonna stay here.
मैं वहाँ पे
यहाँ से है वो देखा लो। पहाड़ पे। पेन। मैं टेढ़ा करिए माइक। No, just keep it nice and stoic. Let's not pose too much at all. It's looking very nice and chic.
hands on the hips.
Guys, I'm really sorry. Oh, but now they're moving.
I want to give her a flower.
We wanted to bring, classical beauty, but yet infuse an element of freshness, which always Falguni Shane, the Indian and Couture line is always about. It derives something from classics, but it's also very in touch with what the current and contemporary design scene is. So that's always something that we want to infuse in the styling as well, and to elevate a look, not just play safe, but within classical context, push boundaries. So that's always the first part of a brief.
Card लगा के था चालू तो card लगा के था
So we were really happy with the first day's picture and footages of what we saw, and we would say that teams had done an amazing job, and we finally wrapped up the day and we all were headed towards our ghat, to our hotels in our respective boats.
चलो चलो
Hold his hand.
Zubair, staying back.
Come here. We're meeting you there.
I took you to
So we were all heading towards the ghat, and there was a surprise waiting for Falguni. I didn't tell what the surprise was. The surprise was actually a cake. And I hope Falguni liked the surprise because there was so much of hard work that went behind getting the cake for her. And we celebrated her birthday by singing, and we cut the cake on the ghat.
Happy birthday to you. Let the models take it in.
How is it here? Yummy, no? Show it now. I am coming, I'm coming.
Everyone take a piece.
We had a little bit of fun in between the chaos of the day. I did my cake cutting and we all headed back to our hotels just to be surprised with a little party, you know. So we had some fun and then crashed a bit early because we have a really early morning the next day.
So call time for shoot being 7 a.m. As you know, most of the campaigns we like to shoot early. The climate was really freezing because it rained in the night and in between for a while.
We had the models prep up around 3:15, 3:30 a.m. with the hair and makeup starting at that time. And also we were rushing because we had to take a car from the hotel, then reach the ghat, then from the ghat take another boat to reach the location. So it was a lot of travel involved and we had to really rush on day 2.
So when we had gone down to lock down the location, when we had this recce the previous day with our production manager Dwarkesh, the location was fantastic. It was beautiful, but the only thing, it was right in the middle of the lake.
It's isolated, yet it was beautiful. So here we are around 6:45, 7 a.m. in the morning while it's freezing out there.
So the models and the videographers, Apeksha, all left in the first lot of on the boat, and then the second lot, me, Falguni, Erikos, Mohit, Mek, Shoini, all lined up. And as we're getting ready to board the boat, the more models were getting ready, coming to catch the boats, and it was all so much of a rush situation happening all at once. As we hopped onto the boat and set off to the Camel Bridge.
So here the major issue being faced by the production team was that there was no landmass attached to the Camel Bridge, because of which everything had to be arranged out of boats, like the shoot materials, the food preparation, medicinal help, everything else was taking place in different boats.
In fact, we had a live kitchen out there. The cook was making fresh sandwiches for us. They were making tea, coffee, the juices, fruits, other things, a lot of things to eat, and everything was happening on boats.
Very good brownies.
यहाँ नहीं लगेगा ना?
बनेगा?
यहाँ बनेगा? चीज़ सैंडविच दे।
जल्दी नहीं
हाँ चलो चलो। Because we're all here. Pretty the man here because it's right now anywhere near.
Let's go.
And कपड़े भिजवा देंगे हम वहाँ पे.
Hello, good morning.
भिजवा देंगे कपड़े वहाँ भिजवा देंगे. लोगों ना.
No, being on this bridge, and having carpets left and right, it's great. But if I take a picture of this, it doesn't really
register as the bridge.
It doesn't register as anything. It's just all of us get in boats. I would get in my boat, and I would shoot like this. Or I can do like close-ups while I'm here, but then everybody goes and then we do some shots like that.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it just makes very little sense of where we are and what this is.
So the thing is, that structural thing, we've seen the second one and we put them in boats next to the bridge. We're doing two here, right? This book too.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So no, because I had a thought that we are kind of like redoing the top shot, so they are getting into the boats and we are shooting them from above.
We can do that too. So we have the boats coming in. So that could be one if you want. And then if you want, they could be in the second shot. I thought the models could be in the boats. The first shot they could be on the bridge. Alright. So you get two. Otherwise they'll have to. So and the boats are coming. They're like those neutral brown and white. I think the most differentiating factor between all the other campaigns is we shot them on land, and this one was primarily shot on water. So I think a lot of the logistics were very difficult to execute. A lot of the changing was very difficult to execute because we're mostly on location, and I think the quantum of what we shot was a lot more also, and just overall conditions were a little tougher to shoot. So I think that's the most differentiating factor amongst all the other campaigns.
Where is that distance we brought? It's there. It's not here. No, it's not here. With this we were planning to do the whites, no? Where is the whales? Sir.
शेन मेरा फोन दे
एक बोट भेज, वो स्क्रैप बैंडेज आएगी, वो लेके आना होगा.
Gorma will be nicer, and I think at some point, if they are everything, get a drone shot of this whole triangle.
But then everyone is leave.
So everyone can leave.
Yeah.
It's not.
Let's start moving.
Okay, and start moving stuff. Okay. Aman? पूरा structure clear चाहिए.
Some of the horizontal photos are so
I know, but then because you're posting everything vertical. That's why it gets
lost.
It gets lost in it.
So what we do is we do one grade.
Yeah, like do some 3 nice horizontal ones because from everything I shoot vertically and horizontally. So I would say shoot the 3 horizontals that you like, because anyways everybody on Instagram, like whenever they click on something, they always sort of go like this. They always sort of zoom in. And make sure that whatever you're posting is on high resolution. Because if it's compressed, then if you zoom in, a lot of details are getting lost. But if you post high resolution, still, even though Instagram compresses the photos, still there is a lot more detail when you zoom in to see more clearly.
Like this one.
See, this is like a high, this is a, and then anyways, it doesn't make a difference. They all sort of show up like this. Instagram will sort of crop it left and right for you anyways, and that's it.
Shane, I'll do that.
So now we have the photographer, the videographer, and an entire team on location on the Camel Bridge, and we were shooting all the 14 models out there. And post that, we all had to get onto the boats, including the entire team, leaving only the models alone on the triangular structure in a choreographed position. And we all had to move away from the shooting location as there was wide drone shots happening, and so that no one else comes in frame.
There was a lot of to and fro. Also, the changing rooms had to be made on the boat because there was nothing. There was no other way to do it. And it was just only us and the boats, and there was no other help. So, in fact, we literally did everything. Everything was done on the boats, in the water, which was a very thrilling experience for us to visualize everything, getting things done, and to cherish these moments of Kashmir. Shooting in Kashmir was just like really memorable.
Action! Did you ask me to see WhatsApp?
The difference between land, which is more stable than water, and because we were like jumping from one boat to another, jumping from boat to land, there was always this one thing at the back of my head, which is a boat going to topple over?
I think the most intense look for us was the whole bridal look that we executed, the red brides and the neutral grooms with the varmalas, and the whole situation of styling them in a very, very bridal look with the multiple drapes. We did that, I think, on a bridge, on a V-shaped bridge in the middle of the lake, and we changed the models there and we dressed them there. We did the jewelry, we did mang tikas, we did nose pins. Like, it's a very, very elaborate look to have executed out in the open. I think that's something that I've taken away from this. I think after this, I think I can execute anything anywhere in the world. And just the overall magnitude of that shot, I think, is something that will stay with me forever.
Okay, guys, catchy. Give catchy.
So I would say this is one of the most difficult locations that we shot in, because when in other locations we're always on our feet to get things done. Out here, all the time we were balancing on water. The water was very choppy, so we were actually paddling from one boat to another boat to communicate things. We had to actually tell the other boat to get things done. So I felt that in our entire campaigns that we shot right from the start, this was one of the most challenging campaigns that we've done.
It was a challenging shot in terms of how to set them together, because they just kept moving away, but I think it came together well. And then we ended the entire shoot by again shooting at the boathouse.
I remember going on a bridge and the girls were shooting and there were drone shots happening, which means zero communication after a point. If we needed some touch-ups and girls needed something, the lips were chapped, skin had started flaking now to like moisturize it and running around to fix it when the shot is happening, and there were like 2 shoots happening at the same time. One is the video and one is the still shoot. So to accommodate so much wasn't so easy.
But somehow, I mean, it was a task, but we somehow managed to do it. And it was so cold that we couldn't even get our voices out.
Even the sunlight, we were having issues. The clouds were behaving in their own way. It would be drizzle in between. Suddenly the sun would fade off and then it would pop up the other moment. And then it would be an overcast and suddenly it's all of a sudden bright, you know, and the climate was doing its own, it was on its own trip.
And I feel like when you're working with Falguni and Shane, that because they push you so much in terms of creativity, you also want to do your best. So for me, planning the shots, I knew that at least 30% of the film needs to be shot on the drone, and the rest, of course, we'll do close-ups and the regular shots.
As we got done with the first 2 shots, we were really happy with the footage we had achieved in this location. So, and we also had a really early morning breakfast, and now it was 1:15 in the afternoon. The whole crew was really hungry. So we headed back to the houseboat where we had the base set up, and we wanted to get ready for the 3rd and 4th looks.
So as we reached the boathouse, and I met with our team and Ericos, and we were having this little brainstorming session, and you know, what will our next look be and where will we want to shoot and all our technical stuff. And as we were discussing this and we were prepping for lunch, and I could see suddenly the sky getting an overcast and it starts drizzling, and I was like, oh my god, now what are we going to do?
सबको पीछे भिजवा दो। एक काम करते हैं ना, ये शो फिर हम रेस्टोरेंट में लेके जाते हैं।
So my constant worry was about losing light, and at that moment we were losing light, and I think within the span of 20-25 minutes we got our models ready and we started prepping for the next shot in the shikara itself, you know, with beautiful flowers. And
I think the biggest difficulty is we were just in the boats a lot. The weather conditions weren't very favorable. They kept, I think, raining a lot. But I do feel a shoot of this scale, usually in a location such as this, is bound to come with its own set of logistical difficulties. But I don't think anything amazing ever, anything epic ever happens without some form of difficulty. So that's okay.
Just make sure that you listen. That all that.
Just one more. Pancha boat किधर है?
No, you will see the other ones and you will
I'm
see the
sure.
difference.
I'm sure of it, obviously. But just like, I think usually what happens on such days is you don't really remember the experience of the day, but when you go back and you look at the product and the final output, I think that's what drives us to do what we do. And when you see such beautiful imagery and videos come out of the campaign,
I love it.
It justifies any sort of hardship that you go through during that day. And like I said, you don't really remember them anyway at the end of the day. You just remember the output and the product. And with SSK, it's always been the case. We've always only cared about the output, and it's always been path-breaking. So it's totally worth all the effort that goes into it.
Don't put it on the ringer. Put it this side. Put it outside. Put your drape.
And we had our models ready, and we're lying down on the shikaras and Ericos. It was super fast because we were running out of time. We couldn't afford to lose light out there, and we had to get the shoot super quick. And luckily, Apeksha and Vaishnav and the team was so amazing that they got the shots simultaneously. And we had this drone flying in this beautiful moment, and just then it started drizzling again.
I remember we had this rush moment of completing this look, and as we got done, we could see the clouds covering, you know, the light, and it started drizzling again, and we were so nervous.
I'm very happy. Thank you. I love you. Thank you.
And then it just started pouring out of nowhere.
We had to rush back into the houseboat while everyone started running to take shelter here and there. In fact, it was so difficult for the production team because they had the food set up and they had to quickly evacuate all the things, cover up everything and then take shelter in the houseboat.
So when it started raining, all of them started rushing towards the boathouse with all the equipments and everything that was kept all in the open. And they were on tables, there were batteries charging, and there were gimbals lying out there. So everyone just picked up what they could pick up. Our clothes also was out there and everyone was rushing into it. I remember in that rush, as we were running in, I remember stumbling and falling also.
It got all so messy and it was pouring almost for an hour and we were so nervous.
So we were worried that we might lose more light, and then I remember having a word with Erikos and Mohit, and we decided to shoot. I think I distinctively remember there were 2 more looks to be shot, so we decided let's shoot inside the boathouse. And so we got the models quickly ready and the touch-up was being done, the makeup was being done and everything was final. And then suddenly we realized there were too many people on the boat and the boat actually started to go down a little bit. So we were a little scared about that. So we decided let's shoot it on the balcony so we have most of the team members out of the boat, and this was very scary actually. So when we started shooting, the clouds started moving and eventually we could see this beautiful snow-capped mountains. It was so amazing. The background, so we decided this is what we need for the background for all our images and videos. And the video team was preparing their drone and taking the drone up to capture this beautiful landscape for this B-roll, the scenic background that I was talking about.
And we had these beautiful shikaras getting ready for the final shot where the videos were getting captured and Erikos took some really fantastic pictures.
Madam, juice, ma'am, juice.
So as we got done with the pictures and we got the models rushed up because we were fighting with the sunlight, and we got the models out on the shikaras and to get a few shots. Even Erikos joined in to click a few shots and we had the video team all from different angles, whatever they could get, and they were shooting this because I wanted the final frame of Kashmir to capture the scenic beauty, like the mountains behind, the snow-clad mountains. I wanted that as one of the main shots.
We made sure that the shikaras were in the middle of the lake. It was a long shot from the houseboat and we managed to capture this beautiful finishing shot with the sunset hues. And the drone was capturing all of this and it was just gorgeous.
Even when we were constantly fighting against light and we were taking risks out there, I was very happy with the outcome. I was really very thrilled and was very satisfied actually, you could say, that we could achieve all this final look as well. I was really hoping that we get this done.
And I'm really happy that it happened. While I was looking at this
last outfit with the backdrop and the snow-covered mountain,
there was one thing that came to my mind, and with these colorful outfits.
Falguni and myself were looking at these beautiful snow-clad mountains, and then we looked at our outfits. It was like a poem. And at that moment, Falguni and myself decided that it was a poem by the lake, and that has to be the name of our collection.